Happy Thursday. The mental grind they call baseball betting continues. Let's talk some seam. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and is there a harder sport to bet than April and May baseball? My goodness. To predict some of these games is absolutely insane. Luckily, we had a couple RBI props that both hit that saved our day. Lost just a little over a unit. But we're going to get hot. We got really hot last year, second half of the year. I know it's coming, but I've been telling you over and over, bankroll management is huge right now. There's a lot of people getting crushed by MLB. We just got to keep grinding. This is a mental grind to come up here every single day and you lose some bets, and you got to just keep trusting the system, make some tweaks and things like that. But we'll get back at it. Again, it hasn't been a terrible year. One good week and we're back in the positive, but man, some tough beats. We'll go over it. 1-4 in the main bets, but again, 2 for 2 on the plus money RBI props. Luckily, again, the recap is just in a little bit. But Outlier, any graphics you see in this video are from an app called Outlier, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click the link below for the 7-day free trial. And by the way, NBA Best Bets video got a 1-unit play for Warriors T-Wolves. That video is out now, so be sure to check it out. So we got an MLB fun fact to start us off. Here we go. In 1997, Craig Biggio played in all 162 games, 744 plate appearances. He did not hit into one single double play. Not one. That's insane. Bonus Biggio fact, he's also the only player in the Hall of Fame to be an All-Star as a catcher and a second baseman. That's pretty impressive. In this video, we're going to talk good and bad hitter matchups, then the good pitcher strikeout matchups, and then we'll give you the full pitcher report. Sorry, I didn't have time for the hitters on fire again. I got kids the whole week, and then I got Ryan gone for the week, so I'm trying to edit and do everything for 2 videos, but hopefully I can get that out in tomorrow's video. And then, of course, we'll finish it with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community as we're getting closer and closer to 40,000 subscribers. So let's get into it, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, the recap for Wednesday. We start with the Mariners. I mean, you blink and it's 3-0 in the first inning. Brian Wu dominates all year, and he just absolutely struggles. Had a really tough call that would have been strike 3 end the inning. It was a ball, and then they hit a double, score some runs. But either way, the Mariners ended up winning, of course, because they just wanted to rub it in my face, which is good as a fan. But either way, they lost the first 5 innings. Dodgers team total over 5.5 got absolutely demolished or dominated by Beloso. He had 7 Ks, but luckily the Marlins bullpen came in and stunk up the joint, and they scored like 10 runs still. So under 9.5 Red Sox Rangers. Watched a lot of this game. This was brutal, guys. Alex Bregman up second and third, 2 out in a 3-3 game. They don't walk him to get to the rookie with 2 outs. They pitch to him with a lefty, one of the hottest hitters on planet Earth. Of course, he rips a single to go up 2. Okay, we're still okay. And then they hit up a solo bomb in the bottom of the 8th to make it 9 runs. Still okay. Aroldis Chapman come in, just slam the door. We win. Gives up a solo bomb on pitch number 1 or 2 of the inning. It ends 6-4. Just can't make it up. Sonny Gray under 6.5 Ks. That was brutal. He became Nolan Ryan. I have no idea. The Pirates never strike out against righties. 20 of 25 guys went under. Sonny Gray was absolutely just dealing because the Pirates didn't swing. 4 of their first 5 were on called strikes. Just didn't want to swing today. Freddie Freeman, Riley Green. Freeman obviously dominated. But Riley Green in Coors Field against terrible pitchers. What does he do? 0 for 4 with a walk. 5 plate appearances. Couldn't get a hit. I think he was one of 2 or 3 Tigers to not get a hit. Again, some of this luck will turn. I just know it will. Some of the reads are there. Sonny Gray was a bad read, obviously, and so was the Mariners. Brian Wu just sucked. And then, luckily, RBI props, Freddie Freeman and Bobby Witt both clutch up, plus 110, plus 130, to help us lose just a little over a unit. So there's the overall record, down 5.49 units on the season with the breakdown of everything, just to kind of help you guys out, let you know what I've been good at, what I haven't. But, of course, we got a lot of research help to get into, and that starts with the good and bad hitter matchups. All right, there it is. We got 10 good hitter matchups. And, of course, you don't see my face in the corner because, well, Ryan's not here. We didn't get it set up that way. But still, I'm giving you the info. So, Corey Seager, 4 for 11, 1 extra base hit off Brian Bayo. And then Freddie Freeman, just scorching freaking hot. 4 for 11, 3 extra base hits off Brandon Pfaadt. And then so on and so on, all the way down to Yandy Diaz against Jesus Luzardo. Mookie Betts, 4 for 9 off Pfaadt as well. And then just some, lesser name guys, obviously, down to Conforto, 3 for 7 with 2 bombs off of Pfaadt himself. So, That's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitters, and that's it. Adolis Garcia, 1 for 10. Marcus Semien, 2 for 11, both off Brian Bayo. So that's what we got for the hitters. Now let's talk the good pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, we got 2 of them, and they're 2 pitchers that always fail when I bet on them. That's for sure. But Joe Ryan, the man with 2 first names against the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles' 3rd highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 25.6%. Their entire team is a struggle bus. I mean, it is awful for the Baltimore Orioles this year. Joe Ryan, 47 Ks in 40 innings this year. He faced 2 other high K teams his last 2 starts, had 11 and 8 Ks in the Angels in Boston, and now he faces another one in Baltimore. He has a much higher K rate at home, and obviously he's at home here. How about 37.9 compared to 23.9 on the road? Again, still early in the season, smaller sample size. He has a much higher K rate versus righties, 37% compared to 19.7. And then we go down to Bassett Hound at the Angels, the team we were just talking about, the number 1 highest K percentage versus righties the last 3 weeks, 28.5%. Bassett, 43 Ks in 39.2 innings. He has a lower K rate on the road, though, in the small sample size, only 22.7% compared to 30% at home. Even K rate splits versus righties and lefties. He had a 10 strikeout game earlier this year. Since then, he's had 3, 5, and 4, so a little bit lesser, but they were tougher matchups. Obviously, the Angels are the best out there. So, in regards to matchup. But that's what we got for the pitcher strikeout matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 5 matchups on a smaller slate today. Dean Kramer versus Joe Ryan, like we talked about. Obviously, advantage Joe Ryan there. Baltimore just continues to put out bad starting pitcher after bad starting pitcher, it seems like. Jack Leiter, I expect good things out of him. I really do. But he got rocked by Seattle in his last start. Hasn't pitched more than 5 innings yet this season. He did throw 89 pitches last start when he got rocked by the Mariners. Brian Bayo, 2.5 ERA. Not too shabby. Obviously, only 17.2 innings. Not a guy who misses many bats, that's for sure. And then Davis Martin, hit and miss with some really good starts and a few bad starts, going up against Chris Bubich. 4 starts of 0 earned runs allowed, where he's absolutely dominated. Ks have gone down a lot lately, at least just 4 and 3 Ks in his last 2 starts. One of them, I think he left early, though. And then no more than 6 Ks in his last 5. And then Jesus Luzardo, Pepio. We know how good Luzardo's been. We bet on him. Cash is under earned runs last time. Pepio, 3 or lesser in runs allowed in 6 of his 7 starts, so doing a decent job. And then Nick Lodolo, worst start of the season. Last start versus Washington, allowed 10 hits and 6 earned runs. He's been a little hit and miss with Ks, but before that Washington start, he's had a pretty good, really solid season, going deep into games usually and stuff. And then Schwellenbach, I'm high on this guy, but he has not pitched very well. Let's be honest. He's struggling. Got off to a hot start this year. He's just not exactly locating his pitches well, and he's getting hit around for it. His last 4 starts, 6+ hits allowed in all four of those, and 17 earned runs in those 21.1 innings. It has been a struggle. We'll see if today is the day he bounces back. But, of course, all the averages are on the bottom to help you guys out. And now let's look at the final 4 matchups of the day. We got Bassett Hound versus Jose Soriano. Soriano, good start versus Detroit last time. 0 earned runs allowed, 5 or less Ks in 6 of his 7 starts. So not a guy who misses many bats. We talked a little bit about Bassett with the Ks, but he's had a good year. 2.95 ERA, great expected ERA, really low walk rate, all that. Yamamoto, we know, top 3 pitcher in the game right now. Still has yet to give up more than 2 earned runs in a start. 0.9 ERA, 32% K rate. It's just silly. It really is. And then Brandon Pfaadt, rock last start, giving up 9 hits now in 2 straight starts. That was against Atlanta and Philly. Well, it's not going to get any easier versus the Dodgers, that's for sure. Casey Mize, guy I'm high on, going into Colorado now against Kyle Freeland. Huge advantage for Detroit there. And then we have a doubleheader. Second game as of right now, it's just Gordon. Hasn't pitched yet this year. I think it's Tanner Gordon, but he had an over 80 ERA last year, 16% K rate. Just another Rockies pitcher that's bad, honestly. So that's what we got for the entire pitcher report and the research help. Now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to George Steinbrenner Field, where the Rays host the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies on the money line, -134. Rays money line, +114, with a total of 8.5 runs. This can be chalky, but you know what? I think this should be much higher. Give me the Phillies on the money line for my best bet. -134 on FanDuel for half unit. I was very close to taking the -1.5 at plus money, so I really don't mind that there, especially with them being the road team. But we have a lefty versus the Rays. The Rays really struggle versus lefties, as we've talked about before. More on that in a bit in their offense. But starting pitcher matchup, they got one of the best lefties on the mound for Philly. Jesus Luzardo going up against Ryan Pepio. Luzardo giving up 2 or lesser in runs now in 6 of 7 starts, a 1.18 whip, an elite 15.5% swinging strike rate, which is in the 91st percentile. If you watch him pitch, you know he's pretty filthy. He's been dealing all season long. Now we got Ryan Pepio. He's been decent as well. I'm not going to sit here and say he's bad, but he's struggled a lot more at home. Almost a 5 ERA at home in 28 innings, giving up a 278 average against at home. He struggles versus righties as well, giving up a 321 average and 593 slugging. He doesn't exactly dominate lefties. I'm just mentioning that he does struggle so far this year. And then Luzardo, obviously, we know he has a starting pitcher matchup here, but the offenses, this is why it's a huge advantage. The Rays have struggled, like I said, last 3 weeks. How about hitting 175 off lefties? Fourth lowest WRC plus, 48. By the way, 100 is average. That's weighted runs created plus. Fourth lowest ISO power. Second lowest OPS. I mean, this is terrible. Only good thing is the top 10 walk rate. But Phillies versus righties, you notice their offense is really starting to pick it up. Last 3 weeks, 7th highest WRC plus, 4th highest batting average, 7th highest OPS, 2nd lowest K rate. They're putting a ton of balls in play. And then the bullpens, as long as Philly has their top few arms, I don't mind it, and they do. They're all rested here. They didn't use much in a blowout yesterday, so I like them to have a little bit of an advantage here. But again, Philly's bullpen overall is not great. The worries I have in this bet, it's hard to sweep a team. That's all. I mean, there's no scientific or anything like that. It is very hard to sweep a team, but this is going to be a very public favorite as well. But I can't avoid it. Like I said, I like the -1.5 at plus money, but I'm going to go with the money line here because I need to see one go through. I need a winner. So give me the Phillies money line as my first best bet. All right, the second one is a hitter parlay. Give me Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman, 1+ hit each at -120 on DraftKings for a half unit. I'm surprised this is playable, honestly. Let's talk Trey Turner. How about hitting 407 the last 7 days? 8th highest in the majors. 1+ hit in 11 of his last 12. 2+ hits in 4 of his last 6. This man is on fire. And now he gets to face Ryan Pepio in Tampa's small minor league park. Pepio struggled versus righties. He's given up a 321 average versus righties with a 593 slugging. He's faced only 9 more righty bats, but yet given up 12 more hits to righties. Pepio struggles at home, like I mentioned, almost a 5 ERA. I like Turner to stay hot here. And then Freddie Freeman. I don't know how much I need to say. He's the hottest hitter on the planet. He actually has 5 total bases in 3 straight games. That's right, 15 in 3 straight. That's just mind-boggling. But hitting 480 the last 7 days. How about the third highest? 344 on the year. We know how good he is. He's on a 12-game hit streak. 2+ hits in 4 of the last 5. You could probably bet anything Freddie Freeman right now. Facing Brandon Pfaadt. You saw it earlier. He's 4 for 11 off him, so he sees him well. And then Pfaadt last season, because there's not a huge sample size yet this year, 294 average given up against lefties, 264 so far this year, and then Freddie Freeman's, pretty much matchup proof at this point. So give me 2 really hot hitters, Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman, 1+ hit each as my second best bet. More plays will be coming. As you can probably tell, I'm just exhausted trying to get out 2 videos every single night right now, but I'm going to have more plays in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. I'm not trying to force too many the night before, and we got a smaller slate. So that's what I got. Before we get out of here, though, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The 2 best bets so far. Phillies on the money line, -132. Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, 1+ hit each, -120. And then, of course, more plays will be coming in the morning in the pinned comments below. But thank you guys for watching. As always, hopefully we can get some winners here and get on a little hot streak. But hope everyone has a great Thursday. Enjoy some day baseball, and we'll talk to you soon.